Robbie.G podcast right here on Spreaker and iHeartRadio and Spotify, Amazon Music. We're everywhere. Welcome to the show. We got a good one for you. Happy birthday to everybody out there that's celebrating a birthday today, July 25th, 2024. And also happy birthday to these celebrities that share a birthday with you. Friend star Matt LeBlanc is 57 today. WWE superstar Finn Balor is 43. Carolina Panthers quarterback Bryce Young turns 23, and Fuller House star Juan Pablo DePaul is 45 years old. So happy birthday to all of them, and of course, happy birthday to all of you. Here's a few other birthdays this week. Yesterday was Jennifer Lopez, Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, Karl Malone, who turned 61. July 23rd was, of course, my daughter Brianna's 30th birthday, so a big happy birthday shout out to her. Daniel Radcliffe turned 35 that day. Marlon Wayans, 52. Slash turned 59. We also had, earlier this week, Keith Sweat, David Spade, Shawn Michaels, and Selena Gomez. Those were some celebrity birthdays from earlier in the week. So hopefully everybody had a great week. We are at Thursday. The weekend is almost here. We got a lot to talk about. The Olympics start tomorrow. Officially start tomorrow. Unofficially, there's already been some games the last couple of days. So make sure you go watch that on NBC and Peacock. I'm going to talk about the different sports that you're going to see in the Summer Olympics. Obviously, I don't believe there's any medals yet to talk about. We'll be talking about those next week. I'm going to do the medal count every week during it. And then we'll talk about what's going on. We got some football talk today. We're going to talk about fantasy football running backs today. Last week we did quarterbacks. This week we got running backs. We'll talk about that. WWE SummerSlam is taking shape for next Saturday, so we'll talk about the current matches on the card. And then we got some fun stuff to talk about in the entertainment section. I've got the top 25 superhero movies of all time. We'll talk about that list. And we're going to find out, did Twisters... And I'll give my review on that because I went to see it last weekend. Will Twisters take over one of the top 5 spots for last week? We'll talk about that coming up too. Let's go into our first conversation though. We're going to talk about football. So today, officially, all NFL teams have reported to training camp, which means we are a week away from the preseason from today. The Bears and the Houston Texans will play in the Hall of Fame game next weekend. Couple of holdouts, CeeDee Lamb, Jordan Love, they are going to be holdouts for this year. Jordan Love is in line to become one of the highest paying quarterbacks in the NFL. Where did he earn that? He didn't have the greatest season last year. He had a better second half of the season, but his first half was dismal. I'm sorry, but the Packers just want to believe that this guy is going to be the next Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think that's going to happen. Caleb Williams is going to outshow Jordan Love this year. I can almost guarantee that. I will be talking about football next week because we've got the first Hall of Fame game next week, the first preseason game of the year. It's going to be a good one, so we'll be talking about that. But I do want to talk about the show Hard Knocks. And they're obviously filming right now for the Chicago Bears. But right now on HBO is Hard Knocks off-season with the New York Giants. And last night I was sitting there watching it, and they were talking about the NFL draft. And how they weren't sure if they were going to draft a quarterback or a wide receiver for Daniel Jones. And I'm sitting there, and the last few weeks I've been watching this, they've been talking about Daniel Jones and not sure if he's the quarterback of their future. I can't imagine how Daniel Jones feels watching these shows right now because they all watch it. And I can guarantee he's probably sitting there feeling like total crap that they feel this way about him. Now, has he proven to be that guy with injuries? No. But to come out on national TV, HBO, where everybody watches this, and pretty much talk about how he may not be their quarterback of the future, that's either going to light a fire under his ass for this year, or he is going to go in a slump and just be horrible. If I knew Hard Knocks was recording, I would watch what I was saying. Maybe talk about that stuff through text messaging or emails where the Hard Knocks couldn't see it, because, like I said, what is going to happen with Daniel Jones this year? Is he going to be that quarterback of the future for them, or is he going to falter because it's in his head that they don't feel confident in him? Do they tell him this outside of Hard Knocks? Did they say, hey, look, this is what we're going to talk about, and all that? I'm a little concerned about Daniel Jones with that. Now, they did get him a very good receiver in Malik Neighbors. He was one of the top 3 receivers in the draft, but does that make a difference? We're going to see how this season plays out. All right, let's go into the running backs and talk about the top running backs for fantasy football this year. All right, so let's look at the top running backs for fantasy football. All right, so here's the ones that you should get. Here's tier 1. If you're going to go running back first, some go quarterback, some go running back. I've seen some people go wide receiver. Here's the top ones that you should go for. And I'm only going to go into like tier 5. Because after tier 5, it's 36 running backs. A lot of these ones are second stringers after that and third stringers. Guys that'll probably hardly ever run. So let's do this first. Okay, so tier 1, Christian McCaffrey. Tier number 1, number 2, Bijan Robinson. Number 3, Hall from the New Jersey Jets. Or the New York Jets, sorry, New Jersey Jets. Well, I think they do play in Jersey. Tier 2, Taylor from Indianapolis. Gibbs from Detroit. Number 6, Saquon Barkley from Philly, which still sounds weird to say. Number 7, Derrick Henry from Baltimore. And number 8 is Williams from the LA Rams. Tier 3, at number 9, T.N.T. Jr. From Jacksonville. Number 10 is, I don't even know how to say this guy's name, from Kansas City. He's a great running back. I just don't know how to... Paccio, I don't know how to say it, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Number 11 from Miami is a chain. I might be brutalizing these names because, like, I don't know every single player in the NFL. I don't think everybody actually does. So we'll see. Number 10 on the list. Number 11, we just did that one. Number 12, Jacobs from Green Bay. Number 13, Mixon from Houston. Number 14, Walker III from Seattle. Number 15 is Cook from Buffalo. Number 16 is White from Tampa Bay. Now we get into tier 4. David Montgomery from Detroit, former Bear. Connor from Arizona. White from Las Vegas. Stevenson from New England. Number 21, Kamara, New Orleans. Harris from Pittsburgh is 22. Jones from Minnesota, number 23. Number 24 is Mostert from Miami. And Chicago's DeAndre Swift comes in at number 25. That's my boy. Now that's my new boy now. And then tier 5 is the last one I'm going to go over. I may go cherry pick a few ones that I know from other tiers after this, but here we go. Tier 5, Pollard from Tennessee. Moss from Cincinnati, Robinson Jr. from Washington, Brooks from Carolina. Let's see. Edwards from the LA Chargers, Singletary from the Giants at number 31, Warren from Pittsburgh at 32, Williams from Denver at 33, Chubb from Cleveland at 34, Spears from Tennessee at 35, and Zeke number 36. Zeke moved down big time. Big time. My God, he used to be in like the top 10 to 15 running backs. That's crazy. And then tier 6, some guys, Eckler. Let's see who else. That's really it. Khalil Herbert from the Bears. I think with Swift here, Khalil Herbert's not going to run as much as he did before. I would take him maybe as like a backup running back. But yeah, so I'm looking through nobody really else in the top 100 that catches my eye. So there is your top fantasy football draft rankings for running back. And that was updated as of this morning. So definitely, check out the list. I go to Fantasy Pros. That's where I get the fantasy updates with the guys and everything. Next week we're going to do wide receivers. And we'll see where we go from there. But I do want to talk one more Bears notes really quick. As everybody knows, the Chicago Bears training camp is officially started. I have the dates of when they're going to be closed to the public and open to the public. And I want to go through that list really quick now. So if you're planning on going, you do have to get tickets to go. They're free, but you have to have a ticket to enter because there's only a certain amount of people that are allowed at the old... It's not Bourbonnais anymore. It's at Hallis Hall. So now they're doing it where in Lake Forest you got to have you always kind of had to have a ticket to get in. They always kind of limited. They didn't want a ton of people there. So here we go. We're already past these dates. Let's get to this time now. So today, closed to the public. They had practice at 9:30. Friday, tomorrow, Bears are officially opening certain dates to the public. So tomorrow, if you want to go, I don't know if there's still tickets available, go to chicagobears.com and you could get tickets for free to get into the Bears training camps. I don't know if any of them are sold out. Actually, I'll check that for you guys in a second, but let's go through this. So Friday, July 26th, open to the public, 9:35 a.m. Saturday, July 27th, practice at 9:35. Practices are always 9:35 unless I tell you otherwise. So won't even say what time they start. Open to the public on Saturday. Monday, July 29th is closed to the public. Tuesday, July 30th, open to the public again. Wednesday, July 31st is closed, a closed practice. Saturday, August 3rd is closed to the public. Sunday, August 4th is open to the public. Tuesday, August 6th, open to the public. Wednesday, August 7th, open to the public. Thursday, August 8th is closed. Sunday, August 11th is closed. Tuesday, August 13th is open. Wednesday, August 14th is open to the public. Thursday, August 15th, open to the public. This one starts at 1 p.m. So like I said, I will tell you when they're closed to the public. And I believe August 15th, that's the last open to the public. That might be their last. I don't think that's their last practice of training camp. I'll have to look into that. But August 15th, that sounds pretty early. But yeah, so that one's open to the public at 1 p.m. And that's the last one listed. Let me see if they have a lot of tickets left. Let's go look really quick. So according to the Bears website, it looks like they are sold out already to training camp. So it says more tickets may become available at a later date. So keep checking back if you want to go. The exciting thing is, I believe that the last practice on the 15th of August that's open to the public will be a joint practice with the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's pretty cool. I did hear that the Bengals were going to practice with the Bears at their training camp. So you get to see, I believe, and I think that's why it starts at 1. But I think you're going to get to see, a mock game between the offenses and the defenses. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, definitely, if you have tickets, enjoy. If you don't, go check back because tickets may become available for it says, last minute. But yeah, training camp officially, I believe, ends on the 15th of August, and then they just go to their normal practices after that, because the last preseason game for them is the week after that, and I believe they just go to regular practice. It's not training camp anymore. Training camp's only like about 3 or 4 weeks long, and then they just go to their normal practices. Training camp is just to see where everybody's at. But I do have something I wanted to show everybody really quick, and this is 6 early standouts. Now, this was updated as of today. 6 early standouts from the first week of Bears training camp. Let's see. So let's go from 6 down to 1. Number 6, Tyreek Stevenson, the cornerback. The Bears might have one of the better secondaries in the NFL, and there are no shortage of young players on the rise. That includes second-year quarterback Tyreek Stevenson, who has been an early standout on defense. During Sunday's practice, Williams tried to connect with Moore on a sidearm pass on 2nd and 2 during the team period, but Stevenson jumped the route and picked him off during a situation period at the end of the first half. He's coming off an encouraging rookie season and could make another jump in year 2. One of my favorite players. I love Tyreek Stevenson. Definitely a corner that we're going to have for a long time. Number 5, this is great to hear. Rome Odunze, the wide receiver rookie. Williams and Odunze have been developing their chemistry even before both were drafted by the Bears in the first round of the NFL draft, and it continues to show on the field. Odunze was on the receiving end of some impressive completions from Williams, including the play of the day on Monday. Williams connected with Odunze over the middle for what would have been a catch-and-run touchdown during the 11-on-11 period, which is hopefully a sign of things to come for the foreseeable future. Number 4, defensive end Jacob Martin. One of the biggest surprises so far has been veteran defensive end Jacob Martin, who's flashed during the early practices of training camp. Martin has seen plenty of reps behind projected starters Montez Sweat and DeMarcus Walker. Martin has even seen reps with the first-team defense opposite Sweat, which is in line with defensive coordinator Eric Washington calling him a 3-down player. During Tuesday's practice, Martin got past right tackle Darnell Wright to put pressure on quarterback Williams, forcing him out of the pocket. Martin, who signed as a free agent this offseason, is looking primed to be the number 3 edge rusher, barring some late addition. And that's good to hear because Montez Sweat needs somebody viable on the other end of him during the games, because Montez Sweat is what Khalil Mack was to the Bears. But Khalil Mack always needed somebody, because if you don't have 2 good defensive ends rushing the quarterback, you're going to hold back the guy with a double team and not worry about the other defensive end. That's going to slow down the production. If you have 2 defensive ends that can rush the quarterback, you can't double both. There's just no way to double both because you only have a certain amount of players on your line. So if you're trying to use another lineman to help double one, the other one's going to get to the quarterback. This is just simple way to look at this. If you got 2 good defensive ends, one is going to get free. Sometimes both. Now, right now, DeMarcus Walker is scheduled to be that second defensive end on the other side of Montez Sweat. That doesn't mean that Jacob Martin, if he has a great training camp and preseason, can't be bumped to that number 2 spot. So we'll see what happens. I'm not necessarily wanting to trade away draft picks right now for another defensive end. If we have 2 other viable defensive ends to go on the other end of Sweat, why would you have to bring in another one right now? Wait a little bit, see what happens towards midseason. The Bears' defense is going to be tough, and if Williams can keep the defense off the field long enough, the defense will be rested and ready to go and excited. The defenses play off the energy of the offense. If the offense is on the field a long period of time with long drives, keeping the defense guys not tired on the bench and letting them rest, this is how players play better on defense. All right, so let's go to number 3. Number 3 is defensive end Montez Sweat. This is the first Bears training camp for Pro Bowl defensive end Montez Sweat, who leads the Chicago pass rush with plenty to prove. While it's hard to judge the defensive line before the pads come on later this week, he's already flashed his impressive pass rush ability. During Monday's practice, Sweat led a dominant team period for the defense that gave Williams fits. Sweat had back-to-back plays where he created instant pressure, including one that would have been a sack and the other that forced Williams to take off running up the middle. And that's what I like to hear. Here's the funny thing, and I was watching people comment. This is how stupid people are when they're commenting on football. If some days your defense plays great and other days your quarterback does, or say they both play good at certain periods, that's what you want. Because if your defense is always good and your quarterback is horrible every time in training camp, that's a bad sign of your quarterback. If your defense is bad all the time and your quarterback is great, that's a bad sign for the defense. You want a middle of the ground for both. You want the defense to play good on some plays. You want the offense to play good on some plays. Because that shows that your team is balanced. Right now, I believe this team is balanced. Next week, I'm going to go over the schedule. And I'm going to give my early prediction of what I think is going to happen for the season, since we are officially in football season. I don't need to see the preseason to know how the season's going to go, because it's a very hard thing to judge a preseason game and say, well, this team's going to suck, because the teams that go undefeated in the preseason don't always win during the season. I've seen teams that lost all their preseason games and then made the playoffs. Preseason doesn't matter. You're not playing as hard as you would in a regular game. And we all know this. So that's Montez Sweat at number 3. Number 2, wide receiver Tyler Scott. Now, this is what I want to hear, because remember, you're not always going to be able to have Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Rome Odunze. Okay? You got to have a few other guys, because if you're always passing to Rome, if you're always passing to Keenan, if you're always passing to DJ, if you're always passing to Komet or Everett at tight end, people are going to realize that sometimes you got to bring in a receiver as a fourth or fifth receiver that can make catches. They don't have to put up 1,000 yards. That's not going to happen. But even if they get a couple hundred yards, it made a difference. So Tyler Scott, wide receiver, as Williams continues to build chemistry with his new weapons. The biggest standout so far has been second-year receiver Tyler Scott. Remember, last year he was a rookie. Scott has been on the receiving end of some impressive deep completions from Williams through the first 4 practices, a glimpse of a growing connection between the young duo. While Chicago has a loaded receiver core featuring Moore, Allen, and Odunze ahead of him, Scott is showing why he's another near lock to make the 53-man roster as yet another option for Williams in the passing game. Here's what you want to see. A receiver 4 is going to be a deep threat. Okay, because if you have a couple of receivers in the slot, you have 2 receivers going wide out. Okay, you're not always going to get to your receivers who are in the slant. You're just not always going to hit those receivers because they might be bottled up. If you had a 4th receiver, you don't know who's going to cover him. He's going to be wide open at some point, wide down the field, and Williams has a cannon. He can launch it, and he's accurate. Okay, so Williams is going to get to Tyler Scott during the season. It's going to happen, and it's going to be a beautiful hookup for a touchdown. I can see it now. So I'm excited to see a little of Tyler Scott during the preseason. And then number 1, of course, everybody knew this. This is going to happen. He is going to be the franchise quarterback that the Bears have not had yet. And I've said it about Fields, Trubisky, Cutler. Cutler was the closest thing we really had to a franchise quarterback. He was here a long time. But as a rookie to become a franchise quarterback, we've had Fields, we've had Trubisky. Neither of them worked out, but I think Caleb will. Number 1, Caleb Williams, quarterback. Caleb Williams had a strong start to training camp where he was among the daily highlights in these early non-padded practices. He's made some impressive throws to his talented supporting cast, including DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and Tyler Scott. But Williams has also done a great job protecting the football through the first 4 workouts. He's thrown just 1 interception nabbed by cornerback Tyreek Stevenson in that span. He also spearheaded the offense's turnaround when it comes to clean operation, limiting the pre-snap penalties and getting in and out of the huddle. And this is what you want to hear. This is what training camp is for. People who are going to say, oh, it's just training camp. Nobody cares. Yeah, they do. Because when you're a rookie and you need to prove yourself, this is where you start. This is where he gets chemistry with his team. And this chemistry is what they carry on into the season. Would Justin Fields be on this list this year? Maybe. Because he would have a great surrounding cast around him. But do I feel like Fields is still holding on to the ball way too long? Yes. Because that's not something that is going to change with him. I want to see him play in Pittsburgh. I want to see him play for the Steelers, whether it's just in the preseason or the regular season, and I want to see what he does when he's in there. Because if they're already going to start Russell Wilson, and they already know Wilson's going to start, then Justin Fields is probably going to get a lot of reps in preseason. I want to see a game. I hope they televise one of the games during the weekend of when the preseason starts. It's not starting next week. It actually starts the week after that. But preseason officially starts with the Bears next week against Houston. But there is no other NFL games next week. There's only one next Thursday night, and that's it. So, yeah, I'm excited for the Bears. These guys, these 6 early standouts really make me happy. And the fact that 2 of our rookies are on there already are 2 rookies that we drafted in the top 10. A second-year wide receiver who wants to make a name for himself. Because if he doesn't stay with the Bears, he wants to make a name for himself to go somewhere else. And maybe he can be a number 1 or number 2 receiver somewhere else. Who knows what's going to happen. I like that Montez Sweat's on here because when people say, how's it his first training camp with the Bears? Because he got traded here last year, halfway through the season. He was never at a Bears training camp. He was at Washington's. This is his first one with the Bears. So I'm excited for that. I'm very excited for where the Bears are going to go. And next week I am going to give my first week of preseason predictions for the year. After that, I'll do one the week before they start. Will it change? It might not. What I see, what they do in the preseason and injuries and all that, then I'll know. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do right there. So that's next week. Let's move on to, some WWE news. Let's talk about that. So as everybody knows, SummerSlam is next Saturday, August 3rd, in Cleveland, Ohio. That's right, at Cleveland Browns Stadium. It's going to be an exciting time for the WWE. It's their big summer spectacular. So here we go. Here's the matches that are official right now. And I'm going to go through the same list as last week of possible surprise matches. They haven't been added yet, but a lot of them already have. So here we go. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for the undisputed WWE Championship. We know that's going to happen. Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Bayley puts her title on the line versus Nia Jax for the Women's Championship because she's Queen of the Ring and because Gunther is King of the Ring. That's why they got those world title matches. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. That's going to be a good one. Logan Paul puts his U.S. title on the line versus L.A. Knight. Yeah. That's going to be a great one. I can't wait for that match. I'll give my predictions next Thursday because by then we should have a final card. There might be a match added at Friday Night SmackDown next Friday night, but I doubt it. Usually they don't do that. Sami Zayn puts his IC title on the line versus Braun Breaker, who won, I believe, a triple threat match Monday night to get that spot. Or no, it wasn't a triple threat. It was one-on-one. And then just announced CM Punk was medically cleared to return to the ring. He will face Drew McIntyre with Seth freaking Rollins as a special guest referee. And I think everybody is excited to see where this goes. CM Punk hates Drew. CM Punk hates Seth. Drew hates Seth. Drew hates CM Punk. Seth hates CM Punk. And he hates Drew McIntyre. This match is going to be crazy. I really feel like Seth Rollins is going to end up knocking both of them out and then counting them both down. And that would be a funny way because remember, CM Punk told Drew McIntyre as long as he's in WWE, which I heard rumors he wants to sign a forever contract with them. He wants to sign one that will lock him in WWE for life. He is having such a fun time being back with Triple H and everybody. I'm telling you now, it was Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was the reason why these wrestlers left. It wasn't Triple H. It wasn't Stephanie. The whole pipe bomb, everyone's like, well, he said it might change. He's like, I like it to change when Vince dies, but it'll be ran by his stupid daughter and her doofus and his doofus son-in-law. I think that was just for the show with that part. I don't think he's ever had real major issues with Triple H. I think his main issues came with Vince McMahon. Because now he's back and he's having a great time and you can see it. Even if he doesn't wrestle a lot. Even if he only do a few matches a year and maybe do one more quick title run, I think that's what the fans want to see. And then a Hall of Fame. But he did say after he leaves WWE, after he retires, he'd like to work as the head of NXT, which we all know Shawn Michaels, I said, had a birthday this week. He turned 59. Next year he's going to be 60. He may not stay in WWE forever. Okay, eventually Shawn's going to want to retire and enjoy his life. And maybe, just maybe, they sign CM Punk to a 3 or 4 year deal, which I think he already has. He retires at the end of that 3 or 4 years. Shawn Michaels says, I'll retire when Punk is done. Punk can come take over for me. Maybe that's what they're planning. That'll put Shawn Michaels around 63. Not bad. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Seth told him he'll never beat Drew as long as he's around too. So there's going to be some kind of wonky, fun finish to that match. We're going to have fun with it. So those are so far the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches so far. There's 7 matches on the card. Not too shabby. It's definitely going to be at least a 4-hour event. There's 2 songs by Jelly Roll, and Jelly Roll is performing at SummerSlam. So that's going to be a big one. So we'll see what happens. But let's look at this and see, is there any more matches that could be rumored that have not been booked yet? I know there's a few that I see on here that might be. So let's look at that. So let's go 8 more matches. A few of these have become a thing already. So number 1 was CM Punk and Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as special referee. That one is not a rumor anymore. That's official. Let's see. Where are we at? So that was number 1. Why do these ads gotta pop up? Why do we have to have ads? Ads are stupid. Kevin Owens and Jacob Fatu. That has not been announced yet. That will be another good one. I'd be happy with that. Let's see. This is taking forever to load. But that would be a good one, Kevin Owens and him. That would be an awesome match. WWE Tag Team Championships, DIY versus Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. I would love that match. That would be a good one. I think that the fans would like that. And I think that, the Bloodline could use a Tag Team Championship in it for a little while. Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker, that's been official now. So that one's on there. So far, 2 out of the 4 have become official. Logan Paul and LA Knight, yeah, that's official. Let's see. Roman Reigns will be coming out. Unholy Union, the champions versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, could still happen. Nothing yet, but we'll see. We'll see if they do that Friday night on SmackDown, maybe. Start hyping that up. They're saying Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Sonya Deville versus Damage Control. I could see that possibly. Maybe even a pre-show match. And finally, Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy. They are definitely aiming for that match. So far, out of the 8, there's 4 that became official. There's 4 more possibilities for matches at SummerSlam. So we'll see what happens. I'd like to see Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy. That'd be awesome. That'd be cool. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And here, I want to talk about this one too. There's a few wrestling things I want to get to, so let's get them out of the way now. 5 possible returns besides Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. 5 epic returns that could happen. All right, so let's see. Raquel Rodriguez could return to add a new layer to Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley rivalry. Raquel Rodriguez definitely would love a shot at the world title. And another shot, because she did have a shot and she did pretty decent. I could see her doing that. So let's see. Oh, and she actually did say, I've been saying this, I want Raquel to return so bad as a heel and be Liv's bodyguard. I hope she returns to cause Rhea her match at SummerSlam. I can see that happening. We'll see if that happens. Let's go on to the next one. Number 4 and 3. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair could begin new chapters in WWE with massive SummerSlam returns. Now, I don't think Becky Lynch comes back till Royal Rumble. Charlotte Flair, though, has been in a lot of events with Andrade, so I could see it happen. She could definitely return. She's been out almost 9 months. She tore her ACL, MCL, and meniscus. But now could be a time to bring her back if she's healthy and ready to go. So no problem there. They say Bobby Lashley could return from injury at SummerSlam. I believe he was released this week, and so is MVP. I got to check on that to see if that's official. And then, number 1, The Rock. Says, could The Rock upstage Roman Reigns' potential SummerSlam return? Says, The Rock hasn't been seen in WWE since Raw after WrestleMania, when he promised Cody Rhodes that they would meet again. The final boss has been since busy with Hollywood projects, while the American Nightmare has fought off a growing list of challengers. The undisputed champion is currently embroiled in a heated feud with Solo, which will culminate at SummerSlam. Although Sequoia is challenging Rhodes and calling out Roman Reigns, fans have long speculated that his actions are fueled by the Great One's backing. This is thought to be leading up to a Bloodline Civil War angle, with the original tribal chief and Brahma Bull leading the opposing faction. What if the 10-time world champion returns instead of, or as well as, the former Shield powerhouse? Wouldn't it be crazy? And wouldn't this be the biggest crowd pop? If Roman's music hit, he came out and helped Cody at the end, but then Rock's music hit. Because they are looking at having a Bloodline Civil War at Survivor Series in November. It is now August. You got to start hyping that up. And what a way to do it. That's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see how this is going to go. SummerSlam next week is going to be fun. I can't wait. One last wrestling thing I wanted to talk about that I had in here is superstars who only need one more win, who only need to win the United States Championship to become Grand Slam champion. So let's look at that list and see who could be on that list. Okay, so here we go. WWE has recognized a total of 24 Grand Slam champions on the men's roster who achieved all the landmarks. Here we take a look at some of the wrestlers who are just a U.S. title away from becoming the Grand Slam champion in WWE. Big E is number 1 on that list. He's a 12-time champion in WWE who held the WWE Championship once, the NXT Championship once, the IC Championship twice, Raw Tag Team Championships twice, SmackDown Tag Championship 6 times. He is the 33rd Triple Crown champion. However, he is a United States away from becoming the Grand Slam champion. Now, Big E may never be cleared to wrestle again because of his neck, so he may never win that. Braun Strowman is a 4-time champion in WWE who held the Universal Championship, the IC title, and the Raw Tag Team titles twice. All he needs is the United States Championship. Drew McIntyre is a 7-time champion who held the WWE Championship twice, World Heavyweight Championship once, NXT Championship once, the IC title once, and Raw Tag Team Championship twice. Cody Rhodes is a 12-time champion. He's held the WWE title now, Universal Championship, which is he has now, IC title, and the SmackDown and Raw Tag Team Championships. So he's close. CM Punk, this could be interesting. Say he don't get a world title for a while, or say they're just not wanting to give him the world title back. Make him a Grand Slam champion. He's already done everything else. Says he's an 8-time championship, who won the WWE Championship twice, World Heavyweight Championship thrice, the ECW Championship once, the Intercontinental Championship once, and the World Tag Championships once. So he's close to being that. The Rock. This is funny. The Rock is on this list. He is one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. The Great One has held a total of 17 championships. The Rock held the WWE Championship 8 times, the WCW Championship twice, the Intercontinental Championship once, and the WWF Tag Team Championship 5 times. He's a 6 Triple Crown champion, however, is a United States title away from becoming a Grand Slam champion. I feel like to go in the Hall of Fame, I mean, he's going to go in it anyway, but why not put him as a Grand Slam champion? One more guy who's one away from winning it, but not a U.S. title, is John Cena. He's an Intercontinental Championship away. Please, WWE, please do this. You need to make sure, if Cena's going to do anything during this last run, is let him win the IC title one time, even if he holds it for a month, to say he's a Grand Slam champion. He deserves that. I don't know if he necessarily deserves to beat Ric Flair's record. I'm not good or bad with that. I don't care either way. I would love to see him as a Grand Slam champion. So let's work on that, please. Okay, so tomorrow, Friday night, starts the Olympics. Now, unofficially, the Olympics have already started. There have already been people who have competed in that. Okay? There's no medal count as of right now that I know of. But tomorrow is the opening ceremonies on NBC and Peacock. Make sure you check that out. Snoop Dogg is going to be running in the... he's going to be one of the ones running in the Olympic torch. And I know that LeBron James and a few other people are going to be flag bearers coming in. It's going to be a cool night to check out and stuff. We're definitely going to be watching that tomorrow night. But let's go in and look at some Olympic events. These are the events that you could start watching this weekend. Now, some of them may have already started, but these are the Summer Olympics and what you'll see. All right, hold on, though. I got to make sure. I don't want to talk about... Wait, let me make sure. All right, so here is the list from this year's Paris Olympics of different sports you'll be able to watch. You'll like some of these, and you might not like the other ones. They got archery, artistic gymnastics, artistic swimming, let's see, badminton, basketball, women's and men's, basketball 3-on-3, beach volleyball, boxing, breaking, canoe slalom, canoe sprint, cycling BMX freestyle, cycling BMX racing, cycling mountain bike, cycling road, and cycling track. They're going to have diving. They're going to have equestrian. They're going to have fencing. This says football. I got to click on this for a second. Oh, that's soccer. Okay. Just making sure. Because I'm like, football? Like NFL football? I know they were talking about doing flag football in the Olympics. But they didn't say when and what it's going to be. So, yeah, that's technically soccer. They're also going to have golf, which I didn't even know golf was part of the Olympics. I think that's new. Handball. This says hockey. Hockey would be winter. Oh, wait, no. It's women's hockey on the floor? Man, I'm telling you, I am not up to speed with this year's Olympics because that's weird. Yeah, they're going to have hockey. But it looks like women... Oh wait, men and women, and it's on the floor. I've never seen that before. Okay, when is this? I'm gonna have to watch it. 12:45 on July 27th. That's Saturday. I might have to record that. I want to see what that is. It looks like it's on the floor with a hockey stick. They're in gym shoes, so it's definitely on a floor. That's weird. Never seen that before, but that's kind of cool. I'm about to download the Olympics app. Oh, I already have the Olympics app. They have judo. They got marathon swimming, modern. I don't even know what this is. Pentathlon. I don't even know what that is. Never heard of that. Rhythmic gymnastics, rowing, rugby sevens, sailing, shooting, skateboarding, sport climbing, surfing, swimming, table tennis, taekwondo, regular tennis, trampoline, triathlon, volleyball, water polo, weightlifting, and wrestling. Not WWE wrestling. Actual Greco-Roman wrestling. So that is your list of the Olympic Games that will be on this year for that. Make sure you check that out. I think everybody's excited to see the Olympics this year. We'll see what Team USA does and all their stuff. Next week I'll have a medal count. There is an app for the Olympics where you can look at the updated medal count. Let me see something. Do they have the medal count on here already? I'm on the Olympics app right now. Well, let's see. Official music video. There's a music video for the Olympics? Hello World. I see Gwen Stefani, and I don't know who the rapper is, but he's on there too. But yeah, so they got the schedule on here. The Olympic torch relay is on here. I'm trying to see if they have like a medal count thing on there. Obviously, there's no medals yet, so maybe not yet. Current stage. The Olympic torch relay, that's pretty cool. I'm looking for a medal count section. Don't see it yet. Well, I'm sure they're going to have one on here once, because there's no medals yet. Obviously, it's too early for them to have medals already. But you'll be able to see the medal count, I'm sure, on the app once they start having it. So definitely go check that out. And if you're at the Olympics listening to my show right now, you can take pictures from there too on the app. That's kind of cool. So yeah, definitely go check it out. I'm excited. Can't wait to see it. Next week, obviously, I'll have the medal count. We'll talk about the games that are going on and how the first week of the Olympics went. So we'll talk about that next Thursday too. Let's move on to our entertainment section. Last weekend, I went with my brother-in-law, Dave, and my mother-in-law, my wife, and my kids to see Twisters in the movie theater, and it was amazing. If you haven't seen it, here's my movie review. The movie was awesome. I don't care if you've seen the original and you think that movies like this are stupid. It was not a remake. It did pay homage, and I'll tell you where they paid homage to Twister in the movie from this list I found. But if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go see the movie. I don't care if you think, oh, it's not going to be as good as the first one. It's not supposed to be the first one. This is a totally different movie. Same plot points. It's obviously about tornadoes. Spoiler alert. It's about tornadoes. But it has a more action to me than the first one. The first one, to me, was more a love story with some twisters. Because it's circled around Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt and their soon-to-be divorce turned reconciliation. Okay? This movie, to me, had a little love interest thing going on, but it focused more on the tornadoes. So if you like a movie that has a lot of action, go see Twisters. I give it 5 out of 5 tornadoes. That's what I give this movie. I didn't even watch a movie from the list of people who wanted me to watch movies because I watched that one and I wanted to review that one. So Twisters is great. Definitely go see it. Here is some things that paid homage to the first movie. Now, this may have some spoilers, so if you haven't seen it and you don't want to hear, this is a major spoilers, just a little bit. So, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, forward a couple minutes and, you'll get through it. Here's a few things that they did. The Return of Dorothy and more Wizard of Oz references. The plot of 96's Twister revolves around Dorothy, a piece of technology that the film's lead characters, Joe Harding and her estranged husband Bill, designed to study tornadoes. The plot spans just over a day as Bill agrees to rejoin the team, blah, 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 everybody knows. Trailers revealed that Twisters would feature Dorothy 5, now a relic of the early era of the Storm Chasers. So that was in it. That was pretty cool. Let's see. And that's not the only reference. The Wizard of Oz. Javi's high-tech chasing team named their truck after Dorothy's fantastic friends Lion, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Wizard. So yeah, you'll hear that in the movie too. Let's see. Tyler's Tornado Wrangler truck. Aside from Dorothy, perhaps one of the most obvious homages to the original Twister comes in the form of Tyler's rust red Dodge Ram truck, which echoes the pickup that Paxton's Bill rents when he rolls back into town at the beginning of the film. So yeah, one of the main characters in the movie drives a red pickup truck just like Bill Paxton did in the original movie. Kate's wardrobe. The main character, Kate, wears the same type of outfit as Helen Hunt. That's awesome. She had the white shirt, I think it was a tank top, and then the brown pants and the brown jacket. That's cool. I love that. That was cool. There's an I'm not back reference in there, just like Bill said when they said welcome back, and he's like, I'm not back. In the movie, I'm not going to give away what happens, but one of the characters, they bring up, oh, you're here, and she's like, I'm not back. So that was from the movie too. And that's it. So, I mean, it's cool that they paid some homage, but yeah, I definitely give it 5 Twisters, because Twisters was awesome. Great movie, great action. Oh, and here's another one. The late Bill Paxton's son, James, makes a cameo in the movie. I'm not going to tell you how or where in the movie, but you'll see him. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, I know where he plays it. I'll let you know maybe in a month after everybody's seen the movie. So yeah, those are some things that are in the movie. That's pretty cool. Definitely go check out Twisters in the theater. Definitely go check it out. You'll like it. I can guarantee mostly everybody that sees it's going to like it. So they released a top list of the best superhero movies of all time. I'm going to go over 30 of them with you. Not the whole thing because this list is huge. But here's the top 30 movies ranked. Number 30, Doctor Strange. Never really seen Doctor Strange. I don't know how good that movie actually is. I haven't seen every Marvel movie. There's just too many of them. Eventually, I'll probably start seeing other ones when they're on. I mean, I've got Disney Plus. I can pretty much watch these movies anytime I want. And maybe I'll check some of them out. We'll see. But yeah, never seen Doctor Strange yet, but it came number 30. Number 29 was Thor, Ragnarok. That came in number 29. Number 28, Spider-Man: Homecoming. One of my favorite Spider-Mans. I love that movie. Saw it in the theater. Number 27, The Crow. The original Crow. not the newer one. The one with Brandon Lee in 1994. Awesome movie. Let's see. 26, the X2 X-Men United. Came in at number 26. Never really a big X-Men fan. I do like Wolverine, so eventually I'll see Wolverine and Deadpool, probably when it comes out on like streaming somewhere. Number 25, Big Hero 6. I don't even know what that is. It's a kids movie. So never seen that one. Number 24, Spider-Man. with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. One of my favorite Spider-Men. I do like Tom Holland. He's cool too. But Tobey Maguire is the OG Spider-Man. He just is. Wonder Woman came in at number 23 from 2017 with Gal Gadot. She's awesome. She's hot. I love her. She plays an awesome Wonder Woman. Number 22, Black Panther. Homage Chadwick Boseman. Awesome movie. Number 21, one of my favorites, with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Unbreakable. Love that movie. One of my favorite superhero movies. I love the good and the villain with him and Bruce Willis. Awesome. Number 20. I'm surprised this didn't get top 10 because in my list it probably would. Avengers Endgame. Love that movie. One of the best Marvel where they're all in it together. One of the best Avengers movies. I love Endgame. Thanos, all of it. It's cool. I love it. Number 19, haven't seen it yet, but I saw a preview for the second one, and I want to see it. Joker came in number 19. Supposed to be an awesome movie. I've never seen it. I have to. Joaquin Phoenix, Robert De Niro's in it. You can't beat a cast like that. I definitely got to see it. I definitely got to see the second one. Lady Gaga looks like she plays an awesome Harley Quinn. I don't care what any of you say about it. I've seen the stupid comments people have made. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited. So Joker. Number 18, The Incredibles 2. Seen that in the theater. Loved it. My kids loved it. Craig T. Nelson, the one that played Coach. He's awesome in it. And Holly Hunter is good in it too. But yeah, awesome movie. I love it. 17, Batman Begins, which was Christian Bale. Decent movie. I liked all the Batman movies pretty much. I even kind of like the one with George Clooney, even though a lot of people don't like it. Number 16 is an animated one, Batman Mask of Phantasm. Never seen it. Could be good. 1993. So that's like a while back. Number 15, Deadpool. The original Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is awesome. Love him. So definitely want to go see that one. Avengers Infinity War. That's the first one, obviously, before Endgame. That was an awesome one, too. I like how they all, a lot of them died at the end of it, and then they come back in Endgame. It's cool. Number 14 for that. Number 13, this will be in my top 5. The original Batman with Michael Keaton. How could you put it at number 13? Good Lord. I want to see what the top 13 are. The other 12. Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson as Joker, Kim Basinger, hot as always. I love her. She's amazing. So, yeah, great movie. One of my top 5 favorites. Number 12, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I don't think that's better than the original Batman, but I guess everybody's got a difference. Chris Evans, Samuel Jackson, and Scarlett Johansson. Good cast on that one. Number 11, X-Men, Days of Future Past. Came in at number 11. Number 10, Guardians of the Galaxy. Good movie. Marvel, love it. Chris Pratt, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper. Can't beat a cast like that. Number 9, Iron Man. He's one of my favorite superheroes. Robert Downey Jr., one of my favorite actors. Gwyneth Paltrow, amazing actress. Terrence Howard, Empire, love him. So I'm happy with Iron Man being in the top 10 like that. Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst. Was it better than the first one? But good spot. I like number 8 there. Captain America Civil War at number 7. Seen it. Wasn't that thrill with Captain America on that one. It was okay. Number 6, Logan. It says, in a future where mutants are nearly extinct, an elderly and weary Logan leads a quiet life. But when Laura, a mutant child pursued by scientists, comes to him for help, he must get her to safety. Hugh Jackman's good in it. It's okay. I won't put it at 6, though. Let's see, number 5 on the list, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's the original with Miles Morales as a teen. It's like a cartoon version of Spider-Man. I saw the second one in the theater. It was pretty good. I know there's a third one that's going to be coming out. That was pretty decent. Number 4, the original Avengers movie in 2012. So that's cool. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Scarlett Johansson in that one. Number 3, the original Incredibles. Awesome movie. Love that one. Number 2, Superman with Christopher Reeve from 1978, and I agree. I love that movie. Awesome movie. The original was great. I think everybody that's seen it loved it. Number 1, The Dark Knight. And I'll agree with this one. I wouldn't put the original Batman at number 1. I would put The Dark Knight because The Dark Knight with Christian Bale and Heath Ledger, that was the role. Now, Heath Ledger was in a bunch of movies before he died. He was in Brokeback Mountain. He was in 10 Things I Hate About You. So he was in some good movies before he passed away. But I think this one just set him apart as an actor who could do it all. He's like a Joaquin Phoenix. He could do it all. He could do funny, but he could also do like the crazy, like drama type roles, like the Joker was in that. Awesome movie, great time. I had an awesome time when I saw it because I saw that in the theater. It came out in 2008. I did go see it in the theater with a girl that I was seeing back then. So that was an awesome movie. But yeah. Definitely good. I like the list for the most part. There's some I wouldn't put in the top, 25, and there's a few I would move up a little bit, but good movies. Very good. Let's move on now. The last part of the show, but not least, is the top 10 at the box office last week. Let's see what made it and who's number 1 now. So here we go. Number 10, The Bike Riders did a weekend gross last week at number 10 of $722,000. It's made $21 million in its first 5 weeks. The movie Maxine, weekend gross of $819,000, made $14 million in 3 weeks so far. Bad News was in its first weekend ever. That movie did a weekend gross of $1.1 million, total gross of $1.1 million. Number 7, still in the top 10, Bad Boys Ride or Die, still did another $2.7 million last weekend. Total gross of $190 million in the 7 weeks it's been out. Not shabby for a Will Smith and Martin Lawrence movie in the summertime. Fly Me to the Moon, in its second week, it did $3.3 million, $18 million total in 2 weeks. Not bad. Number 5, A Quiet Place Day 1, weekend gross of $6.3 million, did $130 million in 4 weeks so far. Let's see. Number 4, Long Legs, did $12 million at the box office at number 4, a total gross of $49 million in 2 weeks. Not shabby at all. Number 3, Inside Out 2, did another $13 million, coming in at number 3, $601 million in 6 weeks. That's insane. I couldn't even imagine making that. That's almost $1 billion that it's made so far at the box office in 6 weeks. Despicable Me 4 came in at number 2. It still did $24 million last weekend at the box office. $269 million in 3 weeks. That's insane. But number 1, I don't think anybody was shocked by this. Now, I'll tell you in a minute, though, something. So here we go. Number 1 at the box office last weekend, I saw it there, Twisters, weekend gross of $81 million in its first weekend. It's done a total gross so far of $103 million in 1 week released. This week, tomorrow, is Deadpool and Wolverine. So do not expect Twisters to have 2 weeks at number 1. It'll probably drop to number 2. I believe it'll make money, but Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm sure will make a lot more. Just because it's Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. It's going to do good. People love Wolverine. People love Deadpool. them together in a movie. We saw the previews last weekend and when we were watching Twisters, and it looked really good. So yeah, don't expect Twisters to necessarily hit that number one spot 2 weeks in a row. I think that it's just going to be a 1 weeker, but it'll go down to number two, and it'll do some respectable numbers. But I really believe Deadpool Wolverine will do even better. So we'll see next week when we do this next Thursday. We'll see who's number one. Will it be Deadpool and Wolverine? Will it be Twisters? Could Despicable Me 4 or Inside Out 2 come back in at number one? You never know. Maybe Bad Boys Ride or Die has a huge week and comes in number one. You never know with movies. Probably not, though. I think everybody who's seen Bad Boys in the theater have already seen it, and it's officially where you could go stream it for $20 at home, which is what I'm going to do. Possibly this weekend, maybe Saturday night or something, or maybe Friday night. I may go and stream it for $20 on Xfinity and watch it at home. I don't want to go to the movie theaters unless I have to. I enjoy going to the movies, but I wouldn't bring my kids to go see Bad Boys and stuff. So, I mean, we went to see Twisters, a lot better for them. It really wasn't bad. I mean, if you want to take your kids to it, there were people getting sucked up by tornadoes, but really no crazy scenes that I remember. There was no sex scenes. The swearing was a very minimal amount. There was no F-bombs in there. I think they said shit a couple times, but I mean, nothing horrible. It actually was made where anybody can go see it. It's PG-13, but mostly because of like crazy wind. But the movie theater I went to see it at in Woodridge, Illinois, Hollywood, they had a disclaimer on the door saying because of the flickering of the tornadoes and all the stuff on there, it said if you have like epilepsy, that you may not want to go see the movie in the theater because you're seeing it on the big screen. So I think they're looking at it that way. So yeah, we'll see. But make sure you get out this weekend. Go see a movie. Weather is supposed to be pretty nice on Saturday. Sunday is supposed to rain in the Chicagoland area. So maybe go see a movie Sunday with your family. Go see one of the Despicable Me or Inside Out 2. Go see maybe Bad Boys Ride or Die. Go see Twisters. Or definitely go see Deadpool and Wolverine because that movie looks really good too. I'll see everybody next week. Next week we'll talk Olympics, where everybody is in the medal count. We'll talk some more football. We'll have wide receivers for our fantasy. We'll talk the final card for SummerSlam. Hall of Fame for the NFL is next weekend. So we got a lot to talk about. We're going to do that next week. Everybody have a great weekend. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, don't die. I love you all a lot. So make sure that you know that and tell somebody that you love them because you don't know when the lights are going to go out for you or somebody that you love. So make sure that you go tell somebody you love them today. I'll see everybody next week. This ends our broadcast.